What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the soundtrack to the movie Alien vs. Predator. Basically, this product is called Alien vs. Predator Original Motion Picture. Basically, this product is called Alien vs. Predator Original Motion Picture Soundtrack, and it came out in the summer of 2004. So fair about this product, this is going to be a pretty snappy review within these aspects. The fair about this product is this is not really a soundtrack as much. Doesn't have folks like when you would think some type rock bands, folks like that, when you probably think of like, Mushroom Head, some of these type folks that do movie soundtracks, bitches like that, Slipknot, some of these type folks. Doesn't have actually any bands or musicians. It says soundtrack, but this is actually the score to the movie as far as this first gonna happen. Now, I don't commonplace kind of review scores, but I want to get to some of these just to kind of see what they're about, to see the quality of them as far as these pitches gonna happen. Now, particularly, this is not a horrid type score within these pitches, but I just didn't connect this full bound kind of with it within the tone. The thing about the score is just the fact that it's going to be more orchestral, which I don't have a problem with orchestral, but it's this kind of pitch. It has to have that particular engage factor. And a lot of this particular movie type fare was more about the scene's quality to the movie, more so than just the aspect of recreation within the product. It's supposed to suit the movie and its themes more so than have the aspect of something within the tone as far as like this is the song you go out and get drunk in a bar at or something like that, or you get some ladies twerking, some stuff aspects like the tone for this cruising out, some pitches like that, stunt type music, floss type music, chunk up the do some stuff aspects. So this kind of pitch as far as saying within the particular fair, I did see the Alien vs Predator movie back in 2004 2005, pitches like that. I don't remember it as full bound. It's been quite some time, probably 20 or something like that within those aspects, but I would have to say it really didn't seem as that much contemporary as kind of within the pitch. I think Freddy vs. Jason, which came out the year before, kind of had a little bit more contemporariness about it, but this just feels kind of not so much Amazonian. I mean, there's a song on here that's called Antarctica within these pitches, so it's kind of within the format as far as I think it's kind of more within the tribalized, kind of more out in the outcast typeness than the fair as far as those pitches kind of happen. Seem to be more amongst the wilderness, some of those type tones, but I look within the tone as far as saying I didn't catch too much urban type vibes about this particular product as far as was first gonna have just something kind of they didn't really have as much like a song for grabbing a drink at a bar or something like that, or just kind of at work, just got off work, still that pitch with them for it. Seems very much amidst like the expedition and things like that as far as the fair's gonna go. So it's within the pitch, but the particular fair about this movie, it just it's not to say it's not it doesn't have it's not to say it doesn't have its qualities about it. It just doesn't capitalize on like some of the strengths that could have been interesting to make it kind of, I mean, I think you're basically purchasing this score just to appreciate more in like the context of how the movie kind of particularly turned out. If you like if you think the effects in like the AVP movie were kind of after effects as far as wanting to listen to those, even though there are some of these are only like a minute and a half or 2.5 minutes, some of these type of ordeals. It's kind of a pitch where if you like that particular scene, you thought that was a good engagement type product. It's just a little bit more, not so much to say hoity toity, but it's this kind of aspect of this question in the commonplace where those particular, the engagement of having some of these type of songs to kind of listen to. Now, there are some songs I recommend. I look within the tone as far as saying, out of the 18 songs on this score project, I did wind up recommending 5 of them. So within the pitch, there are a few of these to be able to get. There are a few of these to get things jumping. Some of these type of aspects within the viciousness of like the particular product of it, as far as these first kind of just excellent within the pitch, as far as like some feralness. But I look after it. There's some ones like I do feel like Showdown was kind of a missed opportunity. That one was a pretty like ferocious type of one with the aspect. I mean, that's pretty close to like Alien Fight, which is the better variation of that particular song. But it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying in terms of like the product, I feel like this project was more about the scenery more so than the aspect of like the location. And this kind of was a question mark as to how and which way you go about listening to some of this type of within the product as to what would kind of happen with it. Some of these type ones do work for some backyard type noise. There's some snack run songs on here, pitches like that. But in terms of like the engage, how to present this within a social type fashion, is kind of the product. This doesn't seem to have as much affability. Not to say like it wouldn't, but it's this kind of pitch as far as trying to figure out the aspect behind listening to some of these. There's some social moments on here that do have the aspect, but there definitely need to be more moments like down the tunnel. Some of these type ones on here, some of these type products, Alien Fight, some of these type ones in particular. It's just kind of fair that these are the ones that have the most blitzing. Now I know this wouldn't have wanted to be complex. I don't know if this soundtrack was going for as much like a social kind of garb as much as trying to suit the movie to kind of give like some particular fairs as far as just the quality that the orchestra and those type fairs put into the product of presenting this film and giving it like the backing was just kind of pitch that It's unfortunate that that particular melding couldn't have happened a little bit more synchronized with the pitch. Not like it did, but it's just kind of fair. It's just more, the score soundtrack here is just more of like an imbuement and kind of like a torch to light up the movie more so than anything else. But it's not like it's bad. I mean, I definitely would recommend the movie. I mean, within the pitch, it's an easy kind of purchase, probably like $4.99, $5.99, something like that within those ordeals. Especially nowadays, it is a pretty good type movie for like some horror type aspects. Just to easily recommend that within those pitches, as far as something to just get crunk to pitches like that within those aspects of just like typical kind of night fest and stuff. Here's where I look after it. So the unfortunate thing is even the Alien vs Predator main theme I did not recommend. That's the most popular song off this album according to Spotify, and that one was really, this kind of felt like one of those type ones that you would catch in like an adventure movie with kind of like those dramatic kind of looming horns, pitches like that. It's not like it's a bad type fair within pitch, but just didn't have the engagement factor you would think. The Alien, it just feels more expeditionist, more so than like the concept of something that kind of like the theme of the movie just felt more like it should be more like a horror type sense. When you think of Alien and Predator, I mean, I guess the Predator movies were kind of had that aspect when you think Arnold Schwarzenegger being in some of those type, the Arnold Schwarzenegger being in those movies, pitches like that. But it's kind of aspect as far as saying that it just felt like Alien vs Predator probably would have been more techno and dubstep songs that pitches, even though dubstep was a little bit after like 2004. But it's kind of the pitch. Just I was expecting something more kind of like something, expecting a little bit something more like, expecting something a little bit more like Moby, some of those type folks within the pitch, is something a little bit more contemporary. It's not too the product is not as full bound kind of blistering contemporary, but it does have some good moments. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say there's just a lot of these very, to talk about some of the complaints about this product. There's just a lot of these similar to Alien vs Predator main theme that just kind of had the aspect like some of these like Bovatoya Island, some of these type ones, Predator Spaceship, the Pyramid, Temple, Dark World. Songs like the Pyramid or Temple or Dark World within those pitches that just kind of are missed opportunities for like there. This kind of has more of the aspect of kind of wanting to go on like some wanderlust and kind of expedition type journeys, pitches like that within those songs. This is kind of the product. But the 5 songs I do recommend off this album within these pitches, this score is Alien Fight, Hanging Bodies, Southern Lights, Down the Tunnel, and Antarctica. So the second most popular song off this album is Alien Fight. This is a nice one here within these pitches. It's like a nice riler for backyard kind of smoke fest, I'd say, within aspects of it. Very engaging and wired, I'd say, within the pitch behind it. Just a mess hall jump as far. The song is just a mess hall jump as far as this first guy. So just to miss the pitch. This is the sort of song that need to be a lot more of. The only song I saw within a relative type fashion, Alien Queen almost does it. Showdown kind of is like a worse variation. It's a little bit more feral and bloodthirsty about that one. Wayland's End kind of has like minor kind of compositions, but the best variation is some of these type ones that work for like backyard kind of smoke fest for some to kind of get riled to in like a movie scene kind of dramatic type sense. It's just kind of a variation. Obviously, the key towards it is just getting tore up to Metallica and Megadeth, some of these type folks, Anthrax, some of these type folks, other folks like that, Bathory, some of these type of folks, AC/DC folks like that within these products. But it's just kind of fair as far as saying that in terms of switching it up for something that has a little bit differential type tone, but this is within the aspect like some good type fare to kind of have like a curveball, something like that, some good nice fares, but there's not terribly. Alien Fight's about the only true one that does that apart from one other one, which is just Hanging Bodies. But Hanging Bodies is a nice one. It's like a good harrowing combo with Alien Fight, like I was saying, good type fare. Just a dope, dramatic kind of yard torching as far as these pitch apps. So just some real excellent type fare by yard torch. I mean, just the aspect, good backyard 1-2 punch with these aspects. Just as far as having like Hell Smoke Fest, just an aspect. It's very dramatic and engaging pitches like that within these tones as far as the ferocity. So this gives you some good thrills to kind of zone out and kind of get paranoid, to zone out and get tripped out and have some head trips too as far as this pitch comes. So just to miss the aspect, this backyard type carnage within the aspect, this real good summer ferocity, sunside tones. Southern Lights is a nice one as well. It's like an unworldly. Southern Lights like an unworldly and cove kind of chill moments kind of get within the tones behind it, just from Rage Packs as far as those tones going to happen. Just Southern Lights is just a song with a little bit more mild sauce as far as those pitches going to happen. Just kind of an oasis within a brief type tone within the pitch behind. It's a great song to grab some snackage pitches like that. Just kind of figure out the fare, go back inside, grab like a snack, something like that, get like another blunt wrap, some of those type pitches within format. Just check your phone, some of those type fares, just kind of in between type moments for just like the product, like a brief intermission, some of those type fares, just a quieter type spell where just in between before getting to more carnivorous type ones. Now within the fashion, I would say that some of these are recommendable. The taste might be different compared to mine within the aspects as far as there are other type moments. If you need more of these dramatic kind of smoke fest type ones like Alien Fight and Hanging Bodies, there is at least Showdown and some of those type ones in the product of it, Wayland's End, some of these type aspects. It's kind of the tone as far as saying this depends upon the connect as far as this first game, but it does have these, but they're not in like ample kind of supply as far as this pitch will kind of go. Down the Tunnel is a nice one though. It's like a quality primer and things heating up, kind of initial smoke and thawing as far as this pitch kind of goes. So just that product that just got done with work shifts, some of those Muzak type ones. Just got done with work shift, just the initial warming up to like the shindig pitches like that. Sunset Fair is the initial kind of dap, and those products, as far as those pitches kind of happen, just to miss the product to some of those type fairs that just some of these are kind of a miss, like the trekking. Just those particular type ones kind of has the dramatic type fashion, just kind of being in motion. Some of those type fairs within it, so it's just kind of the fair, the spiciness starting to get there within the product, just like initial. So this is kind of more of one of just like the entry type one. I'd say this goes along pretty well with hanging bodies and alien fight, some of those type ones, but it's just kind of more, despite the fact that most of these songs are pretty quick. So it's a good nice one for like 7:30, 8 p.m. pitches like that as things start to unthaw and pitches like that as far as those fairs gonna go. Good type fair. And then Antarctica is a nice one as well. It's like a wired and a gas kind of late shift activity, I'd say, within the product of it here. There's some late hours pitches like that. Just finishing up snack runs, some of their products, just getting done with things on the back way trip of just picked up like some combos of Doritos or Fritos, pitches like that, some of the aspects, the snack cake, some of the type ordeals, just stocked and loaded, some of the aspects within the ton. Just very excited for how the night's gonna get to blitzing as far as this first gonna go. So I look within the pitch, some good appetizers within these products as far as most of this product in terms of songs I recommend is consists most of these songs consist of the songs I recommend on here in terms of fashion. It's just a pretty weathered and just ready to go type smoke fest as far as this aspect's gonna happen, just like a good hammer type fest with the aspects as far as the pitches will kind of happen viciously. So it's just kind of the ordeal. That's a little bit in a milder short supply. I would look within pitch if this would have had at least 8 or 9 or 10 recommended songs out of 18, be a little bit more weathered with the aspects. This kind of tone just has a select type appetite, but it's not as full bound haphazard within pitch, but it's just kind of the product that just probably needed. This was too much within the assortment, and not having more gallivant moments pitches like that. It's a little bit more. It's just more of an explorative type product within the tone as far as this pitch can have. But yeah, the score I'm going to give this album within these pitches, the score of this score is basically I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 10. Now, I realize that's relatively low, but that's the fair about it considering I only recommend 5 songs out of 18, which is less than a third. So just look within pitch, you'd think it'd actually be a 3.25, but it's going to be a 3.5. So it's just a pitch as far as saying, but the social score is going to get a high. The social score is going to get a higher score within these pitches because these songs do connect with an aspect that does have some fun appetite pitches like that, kind of a curveball and some extra kind of sparkiness, kind of have like some good type Ferris pitches like that. So the social score is going to get like a 5 point. Social score is going to get a 5.25 out of 10. I feel like some of these type moments have the engagement factor. Some of these type products, it's an easy kind of heavy going smoke fest. There are a few extras on here like Showdown and Alien Queen. Some of these type ones in the products, some further type ones within a relative type aspect. Just depends on how much you vibe with them. It's just kind of the pitch. It's just lighter on these tones, but it really consists of like a good snack run. Some of these type products, just the fair things warming up, and like the product, like the in between type most like some smoke type fest. It's just kind of just consists of like a pretty hammered and good elemental kind of backyard type party. Pretty hammered and good backyard type party within these pitches as far as this like Hell Swishers, Let Some Type Ferris or Backwoods, some type products. I look within tones as far as saying so 5.25 social. In terms of future, like there is at least a sequel score to this particular soundtrack within these fairs as far as these pitches kind of happens. Just the product, there was an Alien vs Predator Requiem, so I could get to that one down the road as far as this fair is going to go. But I look within the pitch as far as saying excellent type product to be able to get this one here within these pitches behind it. I mean, I would say it would be excellent. It's kind of like haphazard, kind of minorly haphazard, but it's just the pitch as far as saying it does have a few treats and surprises on here, but the bounty definitely need to be heavier. But for the most part, for a 20-year-old CD, it has some good type pitches, but it's just it's underwhelming, but it still is like a welcome surprise and a good assortment of things.